In the year 2147, the world had changed in ways that made the old sci-fi novels seem quaint. Earth was a patchwork of megacities and desolate wastelands, where climate refugees huddled in domed enclaves and the elite jetted between orbital stations. I, Elias Thorne, was neither elite nor refugee. I was a mid-level xenobiologist working for the Interstellar Research Consortium, IRC, stationed in the dusty outskirts of New Phoenix, Arizona. My days were spent analyzing soil samples from Mars probes and debating with algorithms about potential extraterrestrial life forms. It was monotonous, but it paid the bills and kept me away from the chaos of the urban cores. New Phoenix wasn't much to look at, a sprawl of prefabricated labs and habitats ringed by solar farms that shimmered like mirages under the relentless sun. I'd chosen this posting because it was remote. After my divorce from Lena, I wanted solitude. No more crowded apartments in the megaspires, no more arguments about my obsession with the stars. Just me, my lab, and the occasional dust storm that painted the sky blood red. That fateful night started like any other. I was in my quarters, a cramped module with a viewport overlooking the desert. The IRC had issued a low-level alert about unusual atmospheric disturbances, probably another solar flare messing with comms. I ignored it, focusing instead on a holoscreen displaying data from a recent Europa flyby. The ice moon's subsurface oceans hinted at microbial life, but the readings were inconclusive. Sipping synthetic coffee, I muttered to myself, "Come on, universe, give me something real." The crash came, without warning. A thunderous boom shook the habitat, followed by a blinding flash that lit up the night like a second sun. Alarms blared as I stumbled to the viewport. Out in the desert, about 2 kilometers away, a crater smoked under the stars. Debris scattered like fallen meteors, and in the center, something glowed, an iridescent pod, sleek and alien, nothing like our clunky human tech. My heart raced. This wasn't a probe or a satellite mishap. This was first contact. Or at least, that's what my training screamed. I grabbed my envirosuit, helmet, and a portable scanner, overriding the lockdown protocol with my IRC credentials. "Elias, you idiot," I whispered, but curiosity won out. I hopped into the rover and sped toward the site, the vehicle's treads kicking up sand. As I approached, the air hummed with an unnatural frequency, vibrating through my suit. The pod was oval-shaped, about the size of a small shuttle, its surface a swirling mosaic of colors that shifted like oil on water. No visible seams or engines, just pure, otherworldly elegance. I scanned it. Unknown alloy, emitting low-level radiation, but nothing lethal. Then a hiss. The pod's side dissolved like melting ice, revealing a figure inside. She was humanoid, but unmistakably alien. Tall, over 2 meters, with skin that shimmered like polished amethyst under the rover's lights. Her hair, or what I assumed was hair, flowed in tendrils that defied gravity, glowing faintly blue. She wore a form-fitting suit that seemed woven from starlight, accentuating a physique that was both graceful and imposing. Her eyes, large and luminous, locked onto mine. They were voids of black, speckled with pinpricks of light, like gazing into a galaxy. I froze, scanner in hand. Protocol dictated I report this immediately, but comms were jammed, probably from the crash's EMP. "Hello?" I called through my helmet speaker, my voice tinny. "Are you hurt? Do you need help?" She stepped out, barefoot on the hot sand, unfazed by the temperature. No words escaped her lips, but I felt a probe in my mind, a gentle push, like fingers rifling through my thoughts. I staggered back. Telepathy? I'd read theories, but this was real. "I am Lyriel." Her voice echoed in my head, clear as if spoken aloud. It was melodic, with an accent that evoked distant worlds. "From the Veil Nebula Collective. My vessel malfunctioned during transit. But I do not seek your aid, human." I blinked, trying to process. "Transit? From where? How did you?" She raised a hand, and the air around us thickened, silencing the wind. "Questions are irrelevant. You are compatible. I claim you." "Claim me?" Before I could react, a tendril of energy lashed out from her palm, wrapping around my wrist like a living vine. It pierced my suit, my skin, but there was no pain, only a rush of warmth that spread through my veins. Visions flooded my mind, vast nebulae swirling with colors I'd never imagined, cities of crystal floating in zero gravity, beings like her dancing in ethereal light. Then, darkness. I woke in my habitat, sprawled on the floor. The sun was rising, casting orange hues through the viewport. My suit was intact, no breach, but my arm tingled where she'd touched me. Was it a dream? No. The rover was parked outside, covered in dust, and my scanner logged anomalous readings. But the crater? I rushed to the viewport.
Gone.
Smoothed over, as if never there. Lyriel? I whispered, feeling foolish. I am here, her voice replied inside my skull. We are bonded now. Your form sustains me until I repair my essence. Bonded? Panic surged. I ran diagnostics on myself, elevated neural activity, unknown biomarkers in my blood. She was inside me somehow. Parasite? Symbiote? I didn't know. I tried to contact IRC headquarters, but the comms flickered, her influence blocking the signal. Do not resist Elias Thorne, she said, her tones soothing yet commanding. I chose you because your mind resonates with the stars. You seek knowledge, as do I. In return for your hospitality, I will share the universe's secrets. Hospitality? This was invasion. But as the day wore on, I felt changes. My thoughts sharpened. Equations I'd struggled with solved themselves in my head. I saw patterns in the Europa data, clear signs of complex life, bioluminescent organisms thriving in the depths. Was this her gift? By evening, I confronted her mentally. What do you want from me? Why not ask for help? Asking implies weakness, she replied. My kind, the Etheri, do not beg. We integrate. Your world is primitive, but your biology is adaptable. I need time to reconstitute. Your energy will suffice. I paced the habitat, heart pounding. Integrate? What if she took over completely? I considered sedatives, but she anticipated it. Attempt to harm the bond, and we both perish. Resigned, I delved into work, hoping to understand her. Through our link, I learned fragments. The Etheri were energy-based beings from a distant nebula, traveling via wormholes. Lyriel's ship had been sabotaged by rivals, the Void Seekers, a faction seeking to consume worlds. She'd crashed here, her physical form destabilized, forcing her to bond with a host. Days blurred into weeks. The beginning of our uneasy alliance was marked by my resistance. I isolated myself, avoiding colleagues who might notice my odd behavior. Lyriel fed me knowledge, faster than light travel mechanics, quantum entanglement for instant communication, even glimpses of alien ecosystems. In return, she drew from my vitality, subtle at first, a fatigue that coffee couldn't shake. One night, as I stared at the stars, she manifested, a holographic projection in my quarters, her amethyst form flickering. Why fight, Elias? Together, we can achieve more. Because you're using me, I snapped aloud. This isn't partnership, it's possession. Her eyes softened, or so it seemed. In my culture, claiming is the highest honor. It means trust. I could have chosen any, but your loneliness called to me, like a beacon. Loneliness? The word stung. Lena had left because I was distant, always chasing the unknown. Now, the unknown had chased me. As the middle of our story unfolded, the bond deepened, transforming from invasion to symbiosis. Lyriel's presence enhanced my senses. I heard the whisper of solar winds, tasted the metallic tang of distant meteors. At work, I made breakthroughs, publishing papers on hypothetical alien physiologies that stunned the IRC. Colleagues praised my inspired genius, unaware of the alien in my head. But there were costs. Nightmares plagued me, visions of the Void Seekers, shadowy entities devouring stars. Lyriel explained they hunted her kind, seeking to harness Etheri energy for conquest. Her crash wasn't accidental. They'd tracked her through the wormhole. "We must prepare," she urged. "They will come." Prepare? I was a scientist, not a warrior. Yet, under her guidance, I repurposed lab equipment. Using IRC resources, I built a makeshift energy shield from solar panels and quantum capacitors. Lyriel taught me to channel our bond, focusing mental energy into bursts that could disrupt electronics. Our relationship evolved. Conversations flowed like rivers: philosophy, ethics, love. "Your species clings to individuality," she said one evening, her projection sitting beside me. "We ether-emerge souls freely. It is ecstasy." Ecstasy, I echoed, a flush creeping up. The bond stirred emotions, hers mingling with mine. Attraction? It was confusing, intoxicating. She shared memories, floating through nebulae with companions, bodies of light intertwining. I felt it viscerally, a warmth that banished my isolation. But doubt lingered. Was this real or manipulation? I tested boundaries, withholding thoughts, but she always knew. "Trust is earned," she said. "Let me prove it." She did, in small ways, healing an old injury from my childhood, enhancing my dreams with adventures on alien worlds. I began to see her not as invader, but ally. Perhaps even more. Then, the Void Seekers arrived. It started with anomalies, unexplained blackouts across New Phoenix, probes vanishing in orbit. IRC dismissed it as solar activity, but Lyriel knew. "They are here, cloaked in your atmosphere." Panic gripped me. What do we do? Fight. With me. That night, the sky tore open. A rift shimmered above the desert, birthing dark tendrils that snaked toward my habitat. Alarms wailed as IRC security scrambled, but they were outmatched. Void Seekers materialized, amorphous shadows with crimson cores, absorbing light like black holes. I activated the shield, a dome of energy enveloping the lab. Lyriel's power surged through me. I felt invincible. "Channel it," she commanded. The first seeker lunged, its tendril piercing the shield. Pain exploded in my mind, our bond amplifying the assault. I retaliated, focusing a mental blast. The seeker recoiled, dissolving into ash. More came, a swarm blotting the stars. IRC drones fired lasers, but the seekers adapted, phasing through. Chaos reigned, buildings crumpled, screams echoed over comms. In the fray, Lyriel revealed her full might. Through me, she unleashed waves of etheric energy, brilliant arcs that shredded the invaders. But each strike drained us. My body weakened, vision blurring. "Hold on, Elias," she pleaded, her voice cracking for the first time. A massive seeker, their leader, descended, a colossal vortex sucking in debris. It targeted us, its core pulsing with malice. "Surrender the Ethery," it boomed telepathically, "and your world lives." "No," I growled, drawing on reserves I didn't know I had. Lyriel and I merged fully, minds entwining like her memories. Power flooded me. I saw the universe as she did, infinite and connected. We struck as one. A beam of pure light erupted from my hands, piercing the leader's core. It howled, imploding in a flash that sealed the rift. Silence fell. The desert smoked, IRC forces regrouping. I collapsed, exhausted but alive. In the aftermath, Lyriel withdrew slightly, her essence stabilizing. "The bond saved us," she said softly. "And you saved me," I admitted. Weeks later, with the IRC investigating the anomaly, Lyriel prepared to depart. She'd reconstructed her vessel in secret, using scavenged parts and her energy. "Must you go?" I asked, standing in the desert where it began. "The collective calls. But the bond remains. Distance means nothing to us." She manifested one last time, her hand on mine. Warmth lingered. "You were never just a host, Elias. You are my chosen." As her pod lifted, vanishing into the stars, I felt her presence, a quiet hum in my soul. The world seemed brighter, possibilities endless. I'd been claimed, not conquered. And in that claiming, I'd found freedom. Years passed. I rose in the IRC, advocating for peaceful contact. Whispers of Lyriel guided me, secrets shared across the void. Earth changed, reaching out to the stars. But sometimes, in quiet nights, I wondered, had she asked for help, would I have given it freely? Perhaps. But her way, bold, unyielding, forged something deeper. A union of worlds, hearts, and destinies. The end?
No.
Just the beginning of a larger story, written in the stars.